everyone, how you doing today? My name's Kirsty, aka Beth Bookish, and it is that time of the month again where I get bullied by my game board, and it's also my TBR for Adventurerathon. So like I said, it is time to do my game, and the board traditionally likes to bully me, and everything I don't want it to do, it usually does. You would think that just once it would let me have a nice, chill, relaxed month. No, it does not. I've already rolled the dice, I already played the game, I know what my books are, I've spent the last 3 days picking them out. So we're going to go straight to the board. You can see what the rolls are, and then I will talk through the books for the game, and I will also tell you my TBR for the remainder of the month. So I've got my Adventurerathon TBR, and I've also got one vlog in particular that I want to get done in May, so I'll just talk very quickly through that. So yeah, let's go to the board and you guys can see what the rolls are. So this is the board. I apologise that I'm filming this at night and the lighting is pretty awful. I've been really struggling with motivation today, and yeah, we're just gonna deal. Also, it is so cute. I can't really move the camera to show you, but Ginty is like curled up right next to me, and she's so freaking, like, this is where my hand is and she is right next to it. It is so cute. She's just so attached to me right now. Anyway, because I didn't complete the challenge prompt, automatically I have to go back to the start of this path. So, you know, we're just restarting that path. But it does mean I do get to start 2 steps ahead because, like I said, I DNF'd one and I completed one, so I get the bonuses from those. We'll roll the 6 rolls, see what my prompts are, and if there are ones that I think I could double up on, I'll do the double up, otherwise I'll do an extra roll. So yeah, let's just see what we get. Roll number 1. Oh, and if I complete the pathway, I will move on to the next pathway, but then if I fail to complete this one, I will just go back to this one, the start of this one. Again, let's not do that. Anyway, roll number 1 is also a 1. We have a standard prompt, which is going to be not my favourite, but poetry. I'm sure I have something that will fit. Roll number 2. That's not really a roll. Didn't really roll, that was more of a splat. A 5, which is an adventurer's log, and so we will be looking back on The Sovereign, your prettiest book. I have quite a few of those actually, so I've got a feeling if I don't choose to do the extra roll, I'll probably just double up on that one and read pretty books. Roll number 3 is a 2, which gives us another standard prompt. For this one we have royalty, and audiobook is the bonus. Roll number 4. Yep, roll number 4. I just killed her. Where was I? We have another adventurer's log, and this time we are going to return to the Elderglade from our very first adventure, and that is to read a book with forests. That is actually perfect, considering one of our prompts is a book with a tree on the cover. I'm sure there are books I have without forests with trees on the cover. But it does mean that if I get another 1 in this round, I have to add another roll. So let's hope that doesn't happen in our final 2 rolls. So roll number 5, we have a 4. Haha, not today, Scully. That is another standard prompt, which means we have revenge, revenge, revenge is gonna be mine. Yes! And audiobook is the bonus. And our final roll, like I said, as long as I don't get a 1, we are safe. Safe! So, fingers crossed for me, hope and pray that I do not get a 1. Shit! Fuck my life. I mean, that kind of did a splat. It didn't really roll. Do I count it? It didn't roll. I'm being kind to myself. I will do it as a proper, like, a roll across the board. And if it still lands on a 1, I will take it. It was a 6. Okay. I will take it. Ooh, but that means that we are, instead of a 1 and an extra roll, instead we have to do an adventurer's challenge. So if this is your first time watching my TBR and you TBR game and you don't want to go back and look at the rules, the TBR challenge, these are all my yearly challenges, and so it's just a way to try and remind me of what I'm actually trying to do and to read something towards one of them. So the yearly challenge that I'm working towards this month, or gonna try and work towards this month, is Our Fantasy, which is great considering the new prompts just dropped, and I haven't yet done my follow-up video to my predictions, so that's a good one to get me motivated to do that. Our 6 rolls are done, so do I want to double up? Do I want to double up something? Or do I want to do an extra roll? Okay, there's no way I can get to the end of the path on this one anyway, so I'm just going to double up. I'm going to double up Sovereign, so like prettiest book, I'll choose 2 books for that. But yeah, that is this month's round. I'm going to go pick some books. The board could have been a lot meaner, and it was, because I filmed it. I have a habit of doing this. I filmed it. And it was really evil. I had 2 extra rolls, I had Jar of Despair in there, everything that I didn't want. And then I checked the footage and it hadn't copied to the SD card. I'd put the wrong SD card in because one of my SD cards is currently having a bit of a... It just doesn't want to write anything to it, so I will film with it and it won't copy it. So I've now had to get rid of that card. So it meant I had to do it again, and thankfully the board was much nicer this time. Still not great, as you saw, but much nicer. I'm going to go through each of those prompts in order and tell you what I've picked for them. For poetry, I have chosen Soliloquy to the Moon. This is a little poetry collection that I picked up on the way home from Edinburgh. Ren and I went last year, and on the way back we just stopped off really randomly at this silversmith. And so yeah, while we were talking I decided to pick up this little book of poetry. It's only like 50 pages and I thought I would give it a try at least. I have tried to go for sort of smaller books if I could, just to like not overwhelm. The next books were my double up, so as a punishment I have to pick 2 books for one of the prompts or do an extra roll. I chose to go for 2 books. And the prompt is my prettiest cover, and I've chosen 2 books that I think fit that for me, and that is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross and Shirley's Legend of the White Snake. Like, I just think that these covers are absolutely stunning and gorgeous, and I will probably end up putting these face out if I can on my shelves because they are just so damn pretty. So those 2, this one is set during a war, and we've got reporters on either side of the war, and I know that there's gods and things like that in it. And this one is a retelling of a Chinese myth and is a queer YA love story. I think both of them are love stories YA, but this one specifically is queer. For royalty and audio book being the bonus, I am starting a reread of the Greatcoat series. It's now been nearly 3 years since I read the 3rd book, and I don't want to go into the final book before I've recalled everything. I feel like I've forgotten important information that I need. So I have gone back. I will say I did start it, but I have only listened to the first 2 chapters, so I'm not really going to penalise myself for that. But I am going to re-listen to Traitor's Blade, and I'm going to be annotating it as I go, and I'm not going to lie, the first page has about 7 or 8 annotations already, so it's going to be a slow process, but I am looking forward to that. The Elderglade and a forest setting, I'm going with Take a Hike by Mimi Grace, because that one is set in like an outdoor recreation centre place. I know it's going to be a romance, but what I'm aware of is that it's basically she inherits the place, only he who has worked there for years kind of got overlooked, and so now they're kind of in a fight as to who's going to actually own it and run it, etc. For Revenge, I will not be singing it, even though it is now playing in my head. I was struggling with this one because I was like, I really want to try and get a manga in here and try and get shorter reads. And then I suddenly was like, oh, Mao. If I remember rightly, the last volume ended with the introduction of a character who I think wants to sort of get vengeance and revenge for someone. And I double checked and I was right. This character, who was introduced at the end of the 3rd book, basically hates Mao and hates everything to do with him. It doesn't say revenge, but just the premise on the back and what I remember, it is a revenge, and it is basically like a getting payback kind of thing. So I'm counting it, and so that'll be that one. For my R fantasy prompt, again, I'm going with a short book, but to fulfill the biopunk prompt, which is one of all of the prompts, that was the one that I dreaded the most, thinking I would not have a book. But thankfully, due to my trip to Australia last year, one of the authors that I spoke to, and I spontaneously decided to buy his book, it's a biopunk, and this is Toward Eternity by Anton Her. And it's all about artificial intelligence, and it's all about biology, and it says at the intersection of poetry and biology and art and technology. And I did type into Google, like, is Toward Eternity by Anton Her a biopunk? And it was like, yes. And I was like, yes! So, and it's short. It's only like 200 and something pages, 250 pages. Done. So those were the books that I chose specifically for those prompts. And I am very lucky that every single one fits into my Adventurerathon. My character, hilariously, I did realise with Jonah the other week, I was like, I have done this readathon now for 2 years. We have done 2 rounds of character creation. We have gone on 2 adventures. Have I actually sat down and built a character? Nope. So I had a quick look and I was like, do you know what? I think my character's gonna be a seer. She's sort of like, she sees herself as a bit of a therapist, and she basically uses her abilities to bring comfort to people and to sort of help people with their problems. For the main prompt, this is the only sort of additional book that I wasn't able to get onto my main TBR for the TBR game. But and it also is a book that I missed when I was putting together these recommendations. So you're getting a bonus recommendation. And so for the Seer main prompt, which is sun or rain on the cover, I'm going with Prince and Assassin by Tavia Lark, which was a gift from Chelsea. And it's so lovely. Thank you so much. But I didn't realise, I thought it was a moon. And then I was like, wait, with the colours, when it will focus, with the colours of that is a sun. That is not a moon. So I've decided that is a sun, and so that is going to be my thing. And it's basically an assassin sent to kill a prince falls in love instead with the prince. For the Seer optional, which is like things are bleak at the start, I have gone with Traitor's Blade by Sebastian de Castell. And then all of the others that I said that I'd already chosen, that I've already told you, these all fit in some way, shape or form for any of the like material gathering. So we've got tree on the cover for lumber, and I believe this one also has tree. Yes, this one also has sort of tree foliage on the cover and is for lumber. And then for canvas, I've got Mao, Divine Rivals and Legend of the White Snake. They will all fit into the canvas prompt for clothing. And then for the vlog that I want to do, I'm continuing my Bookishly Compatible series. It's been a while since I've done this. I did film part 2, which was doing a compatibility for Ren. Unfortunately, there was a lot of filming errors. Because of that SD card, a lot of clips got destroyed, and in the end I was like, do you know what? I'm just gonna start from scratch and just move on. So I have chosen Jonah, and I thought it was so fitting that for May I would read some of Jonah's favourite books and get that vlog out in May while Adventurerathon is running, considering he is my co-host. So I have 5 books picked out already for that. There are a few books that we all know are staple favourites of his, so you know, expect to see Brian McClellan in there. There's Lillian Lark, and who is the other one that I can not think of off the top of my head? So, you know, we've got Promise of Blood. We've got a couple of Lillian Larks that I've got as options. But if you want to see the full TBR list and you want to see the full reviews of everything, go check that vlog out when it comes out at the end of May. And then I've got a couple of like hopefuls. I still, after finding Hannah Bonham Young last month, I'm realising just how much I absolutely adore her books and her writing style. I would like to try and get to those. And then I've got the usual sort of trying to get to NetGalley arcs, trying to get to some manga, but I don't really have any specific ones in mind. It's just I would like to get to, and especially where I'm trying to start a reread of the My Hero Academia series, I want to try and bang out sort of 3 or 4 of those if I can each month to try and get that series done within a year. And of course I've got the continuation of the Tokyo Ghoul read along that I'm doing with Steph, Natalie and a couple of other people. I have fallen behind on. I'm now 2 weeks behind, so I will be getting on that this week and trying to get ahead and catch up. So yeah, those are all the books that I plan on reading. Please let me know in the comments if you are going to be joining Adventurerathon, but if you're not, then let me know what your reading plans are and what you are most excited to get to. In the meantime, I hope you're all good, I hope you're staying safe, and I will see you on the next one.